It's time to overturn the Conquistador in Croatoa. Welcome to my Let's Play Jamestown. I'm your host, DeoGenZ. We're gonna have a legendary match today with the Conquistador. And the final level in this awesome indie arcade shooter. The Lost Temple of Croatoa, in which the most ancient sanctuary of forgotten Martian culture is awakened and made very, very angry. The Conquistador goes all in. So this is the final level of bullet hell you will have to grind through. And I don't want it to sound negative. Grind through sounds so bad, but get to play through. And man, do the bullets fly here. Huh, you thought things were crazy in the past levels? That was nothing compared to this. There are Martian robot shooters everywhere. They're all having their sights set on you. A lot of getting through this level successfully is about knowing which way to go and which routes are the safest. So be sure to take note where I'm headed. This is, for me, the most easy path to take. Make sure you destroy those shooters first, though. I don't recommend dodging in and out of them. It might be fun to do just for a separate challenge, but if you're trying to get a lot of score and high points without hits, it's probably not the best way to do, leaving those bullets firing. Also, by taking this way, you get a lot of protection from all that nonsense that's going on over there. But beware, because boom, these two guys are sitting up here. These two things that are reminiscent of Mother Brain for me. They are firing a shit ton of bullets at you. That is an official measurement amount, a shit ton. And you want to make sure you can get through them safe and sound. So if you've got a Vaunt stored, I'd recommend storing it until that point. Alright, we're going to see more of these little Metroid head spawners. I know I see everything through Metroid, and it's probably annoying to you. But we're going to see these spawners all over the place, and unfortunately you can do nothing to attack them in there. They're pretty safe. But as long as you can wiggle your way through this maze of bullets... Oh, come on. One pink shot. You must die. Actually. Whoa. You! Yes, good. I'm glad he died too. That little motherfucker. He was the one who shot me in the back. Alright. Never get too close to those sides there. And be prepared for a bunch of massive bullet fire, guys. It's interesting. It looks like they're auto-piloted drones of some sort. They kind of remind me of helmets and also auto-piloted drones, because those in particular that I just shot and blew up, they had seats in them, but nobody was driving. Get rid of this freaking annoying spawner. Jeez. Yeah, there's lots of alien spawners all over the freaking place. You'll need to navigate your way through those spawners and other enemies in order to find the most non-lethal path, all the while still collecting numerous ducats from the enemies you defeat. Because remember, if you're going for high score, you want high hits, lots of attacks. You yourself don't want to be hit, of course, but you want to make sure you're doing lots of smiting with your beam or whatever ship you're fighting with. It definitely varies up the playstyles of how you're going to go through this game, so even if you're not great with, say, the beam shooter, or you're not great with the bomber ship, once you get on in difficulty and you say, well, I don't like when the difficulty raises, but I'm looking for a different type of challenge, that's a good time to check out those other ships, because they force you to play a different way by the way of their different special and beam abilities and firing capacities, but they will still be able to allow you to play at the level that you find comfortable. So it's a way of altering the type of gameplay you're going to see by just how you'll fire at all the enemies and how you'll wage through these levels, which are kind of like a maze in a way. You know, it's interesting, they are classic arcade... Is that a glitch? That's weird. They are classic arcade shooters, but they're also sort of like maze games at the same time, because you're trying to find your way through a maze of bullets without being hit by any of the walls. That's kind of how I view it. So, in order to forge new maze paths, it's all really dependent on what you can pull off with your vehicle, your ship, And that might also be another compelling reason to check out the DLC. I wasn't too compelled to check it out only because it wasn't another map, or at least I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's just ships, and I like my beam cannon ship here the best. The Conquistador, captain of the Spanish Armada. Arms himself for battle! I have no idea what kind of armor piece that is. It looks like it has some kind of Martian inscriptions on it. Use that vaunt to get right up in his face. And then go back to pile driving his sides. He's pretty easy if you just keep a constant stream of attack on him. Because as soon as you defeat one segment of his body, any bullets that he had out for you, just like that, disappear. So, if you are paranoid by his massive firing power, don't be. Just keep a steady attack on, and if you need, try and use Vaunt. That's really the best strategy for staying on him nice and steady with your attacks. Just like that. He's defeated? Or so we thought. Conquistador, heart of Mars. Wow. So whatever technology he employed here to grasp power over Mars and absorb its massive energy or whatever he was mining for, it has given him the power to become the heart of Mars, of a planet! That's absurd and awesome. I love it. So, the only way that you can get damage on this guy is by firing those orbs to weaken his defensive shield. Then, unleash your ultimate attack on him when his forces are down and his yellow crystal is exposed. I recommend staying mainly in the bottom half of the part of this whole level, because while you can dodge in between these kind of hydro pumps, I like to think of them, pink hydro pumps of force, and you can weave in between these bullets, you really have the best chance of evasion at the bottom, where the bullets are most likely to be spread out, and these things, these orbs that you're using to weaken his shield defenses, will most likely come to you. Something you might also notice, which is very key in this battle, is that those orbs, when they come out, they deflect his attack. So if you're pushing back the orbs towards him, you're actually going to be blocking out some of his attack. See, you can see that's how the orbs get in here. They push up that beam that keeps us in a section. Damn. That keeps us in a section and allows us to attack them. At this point, it's really easy to hit the orbs because he's only firing off to the sides, and we don't need to mess around with the sides. Although I can see he's enclosing us in those, he's fanning out the bullets, trying to keep our radius small. But it won't matter for long. A couple more of these well-aimed shots to his system. A couple more destructive orbs. And now we'll unleash Helaton Force. To be sure that you keep a consistent vaunt up and that you can make sure you'll have a shield whenever you need. Pretty flower formation right there. Easy to dodge though. Just make sure that every time his shields are dropped, you go after at least one of those sets of ducats and golden gears, because that will give you enough power to... Damn. That will give you enough power to take out the Conquistador time and time again. Whether you need to vaunt for a shield, or just keep up your vaunt for purple power. He is eliminated, and will no longer be terrorizing the people of Mars. Really cool plotline, very unique and interesting. Although a heck of a shooter. That's really why I recommend this game. But let's check out the epilogue and see what it says. June 6th, 1665. Dawn. I won't feign confoundment at the Conquistador's actions. After all, no one knows the siren call of power and glory better than I. but just before his precious heart of Mars discharged its final fusillade of energy, eradicating his very ashes from this world, I thought I heard him cry out in something other than pain. To be clear, he was surely crying out in pain as well. The man was burning alive. However, I would swear his voice also carried a note of profound regret. It struck me as the sound of my own heart when I first heard my death sentence from the judge's bench. To see your own death approaching and to know that you alone are to blame for it is a fate I'd wish on no one. I count myself lucky for the chance I was given to change my own story's ending. I came to Mars with the hope of finding a way to clear my name, that I might return to England a hero. But here, in the New World, my name needs no clearing, and the people here are brave and honorable. In time, perhaps Jamestown will be remembered as the humble seed of a mighty tree. Through our actions here today, it seems we have helped it to survive a difficult first winter. For now, I should like to stay here and watch it grow a while. And that was the story, everybody. Very interesting. What disappointed me about the story most was just the lack of information. It seemed to throw you right into the action, which was not a problem. I mean, for an arcade shooter, it doesn't really need a super story. What it needs is to have great action, balanced bullets, and great specials, which this definitely had. I love the graphics, how they're all hand-drawn, it seems, and very detailed. The music direction was great, very old-timey sounding, with a lot of triumphant horns and drums in the background, making these areas, like the abandoned Roanoke village, making them all that much more realistic and creepy as you travel through them. You know what I would have loved to see, perhaps in the DLC, was a background story on the main character, why he was exiled from England in the first place, and what that was all about. But for a purpose, for a driving plot of making you get through the game, it was sufficient. And what really propels you through is the awesome, fast-paced, bullet-dodging and firing action that Jamestown has to offer. It's available on Steam, I'll reiterate, and I highly recommend you check it out. Even if you're someone who's not a big fan of shooters, just give this one a try, and know that you could play at an easy level, and build up from there. This is a kind of game that needs honing. You can't just open it up, or download it, I should say, and play masterfully unless you're really that kind of gamer who enjoys these types like myself. So don't feel bad if you fail often, because this is really a tough game. That's what I love about it, and that's why I wanted to do an LP of it. That's kind of my policy. Any game I play is something I really want to get out to the people and let them know that this masterpiece exists. And certainly you can classify this arcade indie shooter as such. And you! This game took 2 hard years and the bulk of our savings to make. It was a big gamble. We did it for the love and we did it for the dream. You are reading this right now, which means that when all is said and done, the game has seen the light of day. We hope you sincerely enjoyed Jamestown, and I, as DeoGenZ, hope you sincerely enjoyed this Let's Play. Is it the end, guys? Who knows?